Money does not grow on trees. Look, we all know money doesn't grow on trees, right? We wish, but how many times did we hear that growing up? But for this deep dive, I'd argue money doesn't grow on trees unless those trees are planted in the rich soil of the campaign trail. And if you're running for Seattle City Council, not only is it growing, it is raining cash.
Amazon is pouring big money into the Seattle City Council elections.
Amazon made the announcement today in a simple statement. So expect an ad blitz here in the next few weeks.
You've likely seen the headlines about Amazon sinking its teeth into the Seattle elections, contributing more than $1.4 million to support certain candidates. But when you start following the money in all the races, there are many fascinating revelations. In District 1, which covers West Seattle and South Park, incumbent Lisa Herbold and challenger Phil Tavel raised about the same amount of money in the 180s. Where things get interesting is when you look at who is supporting who and with what cash. If you look at data from the Public Disclosure Commission, Herbold enjoys strong union support. Tavel's support is varied and includes numerous small businesses, but he also has some big names behind him. A contribution from King County Sheriff, a senior VP from Nordstrom, and several Amazon executives, including former Obama press secretary Jay Carney. In the central part of Seattle, there's a familiar face trying to keep her position. Shama Sawant publicly complained about the $1.4 million Amazon spent on city council elections and pointed out that her opponent, Egan Orion, was benefiting. Now, Orion fired back with an ad to, quote, set the record straight.
Over 90% of Egan's donations come from Seattle neighbors, while almost half of Sawant's come from outside the city.
King 5 verified those claims and found it's mostly true that a lot of her money comes from outside of Seattle. And Sawant has raised slightly more than Orion at $452,000 compared to his $394,000. But he has a secret weapon. Third-party contributions, PACs. That's when a group raises money on its own and then spends it to support their candidate of choice or to oppose the one they don't want. For example, the Civic Alliance for a Sound Economy, the Chamber of Commerce-backed PAC, spent almost $500,000 on Orion's behalf. Seattle firefighters, $80,000. In total, third parties have spent $600,000 to help him win. The only race with more money spent on a candidate's behalf is in District 5 in Northwest Seattle, which is comprised of neighborhoods like Ballard, Fremont, and Green Lake. A whopping $752,000 spent on Heidi Wills to take down her challenger, Dan Strauss. Combine that with the money she's raised on her own, including, I should mention, a donation from NHL CEO Todd Lewicki and Amazon Web Services CEO Andy Jassy, and you have more than $1 million spent to keep her in office.
In District 7, that third-party money is helping former Seattle Police Assistant Chief Jim Pugel.
These groups have given him nearly $600,000 to help defeat Andrew Lewis. Backing Lewis with almost $500,000 is Unite Here Local 8. That's the union representing people who work in hotels or restaurants, for example. North Seattle's race is a bit different from the others in that Deborah Juarez has everything from labor and tribal financial support to contributions from the Chamber of Commerce's group. In Southeast Seattle, where Tammy Morales is up against Mark Solomon, the Washington Tech Industry Association is among his top contributors to the Solomon campaign. But the Chamber's group has given almost $250,000 to help him win. Morales has support from once mayoral candidate Carrie Moon and venture capitalist Nick Hanauer. Sean Scott and Alex Peterson are vying to represent Northeast Seattle. They both raise similar amounts of money, but Peterson has a ton of third-party support, from the business community to Moms for Seattle to firefighters. So this campaign trail through Seattle is a rich one, full of unprecedented amounts of cash. It supports the belief that Seattle is at this fork in the road, and who leads next will have something perhaps money can buy: power.